Two clubs here each looking to rebound from a Week 1 loss as we're underway on EA Sports. Fields this way up at the 17. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now the first carry for Chase Edmonds. And he'll work this forward for about 3. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now a first carry for the former Tar Heel, Javonte Williams. And he'll push forward to the 37, gain of 2. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Here's Wilson to throw. And he's taken down, a Chiefs sack. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. And, Charles, part of the reason they lost last week, they didn't have a single sack. Well, they changed that quickly.
But did they ever? And it was something they talked about with us extensively. They needed to get pressure. How were they going to get to the quarterback? Obviously, they schemed themselves into a great play, didn't they?
On 4th down, the Broncos send out Colby Wadman. He'll send this one into the Midwestern air, and it's a good one. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that,
yeah,
right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll be out of bounds up past the 10-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
I think they're ahead of schedule now after that run. They might be bold with this 2nd down call after that type of a gain.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Throwing now is Mahomes. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kerwin Williams. And the Broncos Broncos are going to take possession of the football. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, right? Because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It looked like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
On 2nd and 11 now. Wilson. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
They certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. To throw is Wilson. Touchdown, Broncos. Tim Patrick, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Broncos are on the board first here on the road in Kansas City. Extra point from McManus is good. And that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. Now here's Mahomes. And he fires one incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Attack!
Now Mahomes. And that is incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
Here's the Chiefs punter now. KJ Hamler deep for the Broncos. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Taken in at the 22. So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Wilson. He'll swing that out to Edmonds. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing. They were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there. Those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
Calling a gain of 3 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. Here's Colby Wadman to punt. Now this is fielded in the end zone, and he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Nice chunky yards on 1st down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on 2nd. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Mahomes going to throw. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. The Chiefs had 0-1 in the year following the loss in the opener. And listen, they knew last week they were in for a tough fight on the road. But now here's the home opener and a chance to get things right.
And I like the way that you presented that because the bottom line is they didn't come out of that loss discouraged. They just came home and said, hey, if we do what we're supposed to do, protect our home turf, we'll be just fine.
And now the throw here is incomplete. And with that, we come to the end of the first quarter of play. Second quarter from Arrowhead, it's the Chiefs in possession as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
They've had multiple opportunities on offense and still haven't scored any points. Felt like they wanted to loosen things up, throw it downfield, and see if maybe they could get a big play and a quick strike.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. Throwing left side, it's complete. This offense hoping to avoid the 0-2 start. They trail, but they've got a 1st and 10 here. To throw, it's Mahomes. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. So not quite a 1st down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Looking to throw is Mahomes. And his throw's going to be incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Mahomes. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And the Chiefs are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Yellow.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage.
15.
On 2nd and goal. Mahomes back in the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Brandon, some of those windows to throw the football that exist when you're between the 20s, they don't exist when you're this close to the goal line. But as a former DB, I liked it closer to the goal line. Tighter windows made it easier to cover people, actually.
Here's Mahomes, 3rd and goal. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
As soon as he leaked out and began his route, someone on the defensive side broke with him and arrived just in time to separate him from another reception.
And his kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
So, Charles, they are on the board after that kick. So 3 drives, 3 points. Obviously not the start that you were hoping for, but they're able to erase that 0 off the scoreboard.
Yeah, I guess what you're saying is a point of drive is not what offenses are striving for by any stretch. They're happy they've got 3 now. They hope that that unlocks their offense for bigger points down the road.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out when they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going. It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that, got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now Wilson.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Nick Bolton.
And the Chiefs are going to take possession of the football. That throw, Charles, over the middle of the field, and a few too many bodies in there got picked.
That's a normal situation, too, isn't it? No matter how hard you try and spread the field sometimes, there's always going to be a traffic jam, it feels like, towards the middle. And if there's any type of a missed throw or maybe the ball's tipped or just too many bodies in the area, an interception can result.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right.
Hey, Ridley.
So after the INT, here's Mahomes. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
That was nice work there defensively to force incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
Hey, 57, Collins.
To throw again on 2nd down. Mahomes, he's going to try and go deep again. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And the Broncos are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. So consecutive interceptions here early on in this one, and maybe setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching a bit from their coaching staff about avoiding these turnovers that we've seen early? I think both teams are trying to find an advantage. We know that. Can one of them break away and take control of this game?
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Deeper.
Now a run straight ahead with Edmonds. And he'll get him a little bit of breathing room across the 5 to the 6-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line. Call it a loss of 4 there on the sack. And speaking of the number 4, it brings up 4th down now. The Broncos send out their punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Take it at the 37. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And it's Chiefs football. 1st and 10. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects it.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score. Second and 4.
Hey, 15.
They go play action. Now Mahomes. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And the Broncos are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go to the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
And this pass rush has really been bringing the heat and has already gotten home a few times here in the first half. So how about the play call there? Sometimes if you can't protect, you've got to fool them. Screen passes like that can take a little steam out of what's been a relentless rush so far.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. He's got it to the 43 here. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Well done. Good job, Bucs. Hey, easy. Touch.
They go play action now. Wilson rolling to his left. And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. The rushing numbers for Wilson may be down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down. Now we give up the middle to Williams. And a short gain down to about the 33. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Go 14.
They'll stay on the ground with Williams. And some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. It's Williams on the kick. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and it's picked up by the Chiefs. Obviously, you got to hold on to the football, but I've got to give credit to the defense there. Good job of knocking it free.
Yeah, because a lot of the time we just blame the offensive players for not taking care of it. How about the effort of the defensive players knowing that guys are going to, and if they're good, anticipate the contact coming and try and cover up the football. And they still find ways to knock it free.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to rifle one deep left side. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
That could have been a huge play, but give the defender credit. Stayed calm, stayed collected, and kept himself in a position to make a play on the ball without a penalty.
Hey, 43, 43, 15. Yellow.
On 2nd and 10, Mahomes got his man complete over the middle. It's Taylor. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Mahomes now to throw. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Got a man complete. It's Taylor. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Operating from the red zone now, Mahomes. This is caught. Driving for the goal line, but he's marked down short. And with no timeouts, no chance to get the field goal unit out there. And frustration going to set in as that is going to be how this first half will come to a close. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. So we come upon halftime with the visiting Broncos taking the lead to the locker room.